Hello everybody, Forest Month is here. Today I'd like to show you, for the very first time, a knife, and actually I will do a video about this knife, which is this ANV P500. So it is made in Czech Republic, but a little bit later about that. This knife is, as I said, something the very first. This is not my knife. A friend of mine lent me this knife for this, let's say, weekend, so I will do test about it. You can find on YouTube a couple of I would say very good videos, so I will try to go a little bit further, so I will do something different a little bit. What do you say about the shape? Which knife came into your mind if you see the shape? I guess it is some of the tracker knife, because you know we got this tooth here, we got this, say, handle kind of the U, just a little bit, but it's much more pointy. But as I said a little bit later about that, and I will compare it. That's what was the different about this video with T3 Tops T3 tracker. So because, as I said, there are videos about this knife, how to use it, so I will do, of course, some my regular stuff which I do normally, some splitting, chopping, slicing and these things, but I will compare with this knife, as I said. Why? Because, as I said, this one is kind of tracker model. As you can see, it's significantly longer, but made of Sleipner steel. Actually, you get the information from my in-home or at-home video, but this is 5mm or 0.19 thickness, and this is 5mm or 0.19 thickness. This one has about 395-97 grams. This one has 375 grams, so less than 1 ounce difference. So we can somehow compare these two knives. Even, as I said, this is much more shorter. This is nice pointy, and it's just, as I said, let's say about 1 ounce lighter. So normally I would say this one will be not as good chopper as this one is, but because this is much more longer, and we go to that, this is 19 centimeters from the handle, from here to the very tip, about 19 centimeters, so about 7.5 inches if I count properly. And this one is only 5.5 inches, so much more shorter. But we'll see how these works. What is very important about these, I can buy this knife for about 2/3 price of this knife. So this is much more cheaper and made of Sleipner steel, used G10 on the handles. Sorry, I didn't say the handle is 14 centimeters. I guess it's very close to that one. So this one has, okay, I'll count the handle normally from where the micarta here is, but the handle starts here. So I'll try to put the handles where it should start, and as you can see, these are generally same. Maybe this one is slightly shorter, but just few millimeters. So that's why I will compare it. So for someone it could be a question, shall I buy something more, a little bit kind of tactical look, more pointy, let's say more slicey with the grinding, and especially here in the draw knife, as you can see, it's very nice to see the difference, and you can expect something in slicing here. There are some differences, and you got this prolonged portion which allows us to use it a little bit more as a machete. You can hold it in this way, so this will be very good for that. Even it's still short, I would say, if you put this one, so you got about 21 centimeters somewhere there, so about 8.5 inches up to tip, so not really long, but still definitely much better as a machete than this one. Absolutely, this one will be probably more better as a splitter, and we see the mass of steel here, which says, or could says, okay, this should stand something more, some more abusing, especially with splitting, batoning and these things. So we'll see. Of course, the difference is also the teeth on the spine, the sawback. There is not. Actually, we'll see. We'll see. So how these two knives will perform, I will go a little bit more in the attention of this knife, of course, because it is about this knife. But we can compare these two knives, as I said a little bit. So let's start. And the teeth retracker. This same wood. So for the delimbing, I guess this ANV works better because the grind, and of course it's longer, so my hand is much more safe. So I got a sweet spot here, this big distance. Or if I do it with this knife, so I have to keep myself somewhere here. So this is very short distance. So I was hit by a couple of times to my finger. So this should be. This knife is good when you need to go in and make the general V or V, but that one goes simply deeper. You can see here. So the shape, the grinding here is much better for these tasks, and of course the sweet spot is much more longer with the forward moved place of the blade. And here I got about this one. So so slicing or point making on this fresh stick. Sorry, use the choil. So my friend put here this one, the lashing, and I don't like it. So standard grip. You see, I'm too far from the real edge. It makes some leverage. But it's nicely sharp, so it works nice. This one. And now I use the choil. There is a knot somewhere here, so that's why it goes a little bit different. And of course I can bite in much more aggressively. I'm surprised I'm not in. So and this is soft wood, as I said. You can see still kind of green. It's down about 1 or 2 months, so it's not really fresh, but it's kind of fresh. Well, with this chest pull, it works nice also. But this one is not exactly good for my hand when I use this chest pull. But it's not bad, but I can feel it. You can see the point here. It's not sharp, but it's hard to my palm. Okay, and I'll try to do the same with the T3 tracker. So I'll try as I did on there. So oh guys, I would say this one is much better. It's interesting. Yep. Maybe it is the convex I made for it, so I feel this one better. I'll try this one and see where I rest my index, somewhere here. I can make it sharp because there is the soft part of the wood, so I will not make any hard tip in it. But as a use of these two knives, it's interesting. When I chop with this is much better, especially for these light chopping. Maybe when we go through some hardwood, that there will be the difference. But when I chop stuff like this is better. But when I do this slicing, even there is a choy on it, I would choose this one. It's interesting. I was surprised because this grind is better for it, but this is, I don't know. As I said, I didn't sharpen the knife, and it's sharp. It's definitely not there. Today, my friend helps me staying behind the camera, so he touched this and he said also it's very sharp. Or actually, it is sharp enough to work. So I don't know how it's done, but this is, for that, it was simply better. I kind of don't understand why it happened, because this one seems to be better, or should be better, but actually it was not. Okay, we move to the other test. So now we try just simply cutting this fresh stuff. Excellent for that. Try it. Nice clean chops. Even with this is much more thicker because the angle, because the grinding. Okay, I'll start some thicker stuff. I should chop these, of course, with the 45 angle, but I'll try this one. So definitely for 2 swings, yes. For one, I'm not sure. So this one, same. Even if it's shorter, but as you can see, for 2 swings, absolutely great. For one, I'm not sure also. For the 45, I have to be careful about my knuckles here. better. This one works nicely. You got the angle there. It's nice. Nice. Okay. Now we will go through this. Prepare a toning stick here. Nice. This one is an X, guys, or hatchet, if you will. How I beat the knife, it moves. So I'm stopped here on the dull spot. I have to remove it. It works, as you can see. It works, but I have to do the wedge or the V shape. Yes, and as we can see, it's definitely not as clean as that one was. So that was the ANV. This is the T3 tracker. And of course, because the grind. That's the point. Okay, try something else. Now we'll see how this one works when you use it as a hatchet. So without free chopping. So do this. Or I use my So I use my glasses because it's really dangerous. So chop really nice. It chops really nice, and I'll try this one out. It also chops really nice. Okay, let's go for something harder. There is a knot. I go there. And as you can see and you hear, this is really nice stuff. So 4 swings with this. If I count it properly. And why I keep myself a little bit back, because I'm worried about my knuckles, so I try to move a little bit here. I'm safe. So this one, as you can see, you can do it pretty much easy. I would say I use some power, but it works nicely. But this one seems to be better for it. Okay, now for the really nice piece. Okay, I'll try to use it here without the angle. This one bites in absolutely nicely. of course, you can see now how deep bites the tracker. So exactly as the grinding is, so it stops here, and the wedge here is too thick to let this knife go in. Here it's a different story. This one bites in, let's say, 5 millimeters almost, or at least, sorry, 5 millimeters more at least, because the grind here and grind here. So this one bites in, so it goes through much more faster. Of course, if that will be something harder, like for example this one, this is really hard stuff. So maybe to save this edge is good for softer materials or thinner. But if I will do a job like this one, I will chop this one, I'll be a little bit worried about the real edge, but I won't be worried about the tracker because the edge. So that's what I expect. Okay, now we do one from the hardest, so we will split these. So this is the little bit longer, and you can see a couple of knots on it. So try, we'll see. Without any problems. I trust in it to the T3. It's my trusty knife. So as you can see, I think this is one. No. Beechwood. I can't remember in English. So this is very hard wood, and as you can see, it's nice to dry. Okay, that was tracker T3 without any problems. And I hope my friend won't say me thank you if I break his knife. I have to find out where is the strongest part of the knife. So this is all right now, and this one should be absolutely. Nope. So without problems also. This knife can do it. No problems. It's all right. Of course, again, because the grind, smooth grind, it won't split as good as the T3 tracker. Again, grind is the difference here on these two knives, so that's what's going on here. Okay, I'll try something like this. And as I said, this is dry wood, guys, and you can see here nice slicing of the knife with kind of standard gripping. I'm in the middle somewhere, so I try to move it here. Yeah, hard wood. Yeah, this is kind of hatchet feeling, so not really as a knife as that one was. So T3 tracker and the ANV. Both of them very easy. Both of them very easy. There was no problem for it. So I got screws here, and I'll try to make feathers, a feather stick actually. Trying this. It's not as sharp as I want it, but this is the chopping edge, so it should be alright. Okay, so I can do that, but it's not something super what I want. Now the draw knife. There is a knot here, so absolutely not as good as I want to have it. Even on my T1 tracker, it's better than this one. As I said, I didn't sharpen it, and it is sharp, but I'd be happy if this one will be more sharp than this one is. Okay, so this one. And now, of course, everybody expect, I think, I'll try to use the hog here, which won't probably work as good as on the trackers normally. Yes, it's kind of risky to do it with this knife because it bites in, but it seems to me too much. It takes more material than I want, and then I have to pull too much, and if that will go off, then I could be sliced. Not really. If I will do these feathers, I will do it with the standard way, and this way seems to me the best way for this knife. Okay, I can do it not as easy as I expected. And the P3 tracker. Okay, I'll try the same. So use the belly. Not as easy because there's a leverage for the wrist, but much better than it was before. And even I shouldn't do that on that because my wrist is tired after that. So this is the one way. The second way, of course, is with the draw knife, as I did on that knife. This one helps when I can rest my thumb on it. The hump. Okay, nice. I would say kind of paper thin, not definitely, but it's very good. And of course, the standard way of using the hawk. sorry, it's not even surface on it, so when I get it, it will be alright. So the best performance, I believe, between these two knives, and of course all those edges I use. So I use, for this feather sticking, I use 3 ports of edge, which both these knives have. So the chopping blade, the hook, and the draw knife. I guess the best performance, all of these blades has this T3 tracker. I believe it is because of my convex on it. You can maybe see that. You can see here is the secondary bevel. You can see it. I believe the convex makes the change. And of course, with this more pronounced hook, which can grab the wood more nicely and doesn't let it go off. Here, no, the wood won't go off too far. So this one, the hook more pronounced, work much better for the feather sticks. Okay, and I believe the last thing, or before last, sorry, before I forget, what about how the fire steel works on this knife? It's rounded, the spine is completely rounded, as you can see here. So just try. It scrapes some material, as you can see, and it even makes some spark, but it doesn't work as I want. Definitely not here. So I won't go for the edge. I won't destroy. And as I said, on the T3 tracker, I tried a couple of times here, because the coating, it works, nothing special, but I can use the teeth and they will definitely make the sparks, but of course I destroy the ferro rod much more faster. But I can do sparks much more easy with this knife than with the knife, just because these teeth here. Okay. And what I did was the notches. Okay, standard version. So I'll start with this T4, and with normal ways. So sorry, T4, T3. This wood is really soft, so it's not really a big deal. It's kind of that. I can fix it in this way. Now it's I would say in kind of perfect shape. Or because I got the saw on it, I can do it in this way. And then just finish the job like that. Now the ANV, it bites in nicely. For this carving, again, I feel that T3 is better. Even I can't understand. Yeah, my mind can't understand Why? Because of the grind, this one should be better, but somehow so no problems, definitely no problems. But I must say again, I feel this one much more comfortable when I do these. The knife bites into wood somehow better. I don't know why. As I said, it's probably because of the grind, because with the steep secondary bevel, when this knife was new, then I don't think so. So after, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. Still, I stay still behind it. So if we do some hard chopping, I mean for splitting, for some really hard logs, which is kind of weird for such blades, but still I can trust more to this knife because the angle here protects the blade or the edge generally, and this one is much more better for when you go through the bush, when you go through, like, let's say something like that. You will see that when it chops, it goes down. These half inch thickness branches or bush will go down probably with one swing on these, not on this. In the other hand, it's different. It's different. Something what you got in your mind. And this one is simply longer than this one, so you say, okay, this one should be better for carving and these things. You do the pointy sticks and these things, but it is not. This one is better. I don't know. The friend of mine behind the camera tried the pointing on those sticks over there, and he says the same. He's got the same feeling, so it's kind of weird. Of course, when you, as I said, when you chop these soft things, this one, because this one, the sweet spot here is longer, and with the better angle it goes in, and when it goes in, it really chops the material off. If there is possibility, and this one goes through with one swing, and this is definitely the winner. When it is not like that, then this one could be more safe way, I would say. I would choose this one. So for the carving, this one. For the general chopping, general utility, this one. And which one is the best? If I will say something like that, the winner of this kind of competition, I don't know, guys. I will call them, this one is kind of, could be better for a military use or something, even there is no coating, you know, it's shiny. But with this point, you can, I didn't use it, sorry, for in drills. Yeah, this is absolutely advantage generally. That's one of issue for truckers, which I have. There is no really nice point where you can do this, you know, drilling for not too long time. I am definitely 5-7 millimeters in the wood. Of course I can carry on, but it doesn't matter. The tip definitely isn't thin, so it stands something, and there is reinforced with the rib, so it's really strong and nice thick tip made for these things. So you can use it if you need for self-defense. With the reach of this, it's lighter than this one, it's pointed than this one, it's more slicey than this one because the belly and better angle. There is no guard actually, as same as here, but as I said, if this one will be kind of military use, I probably want to have some guard here. As we spoke with my friend here, this one will have the belly here, or this portion will be at least 5 millimeters high, so in continuous, or even 1 centimeter, so 0.2 or about 5 about of an inch. It will be more wide. The chop, it will be more close to the tracker. It will be not as that heavy as I said. Definitely, I was how many grams? Maybe it will be even weight as this one, but it will be better chopper because the more forward edge and for a little bit more weight on it. By the way, the point of balance, see point of balance, see that? So is somewhere in the choil. It seems to be somewhere here, which is good if you think about it like about some kind of chopper. And as I said, all the trackers is exactly behind these scales. So yeah, it's somewhere here. So we got the point of balance. I say under the pinky, index, and here if I grab it in this way, the point of balance is somewhere here. So it's a little bit forward, as I said. Definitely good knife, absolutely. If I recommend it, definitely yes. This is great knife made of G10 handle, Sleipner steel, as I said. If I recommend it better than this knife, depend of use. This is more overall general knife. This is more dedicated, and what's the worst thing is much more expensive. Much more expensive. I say 1/3 about price of this plus, and it's heavier, slightly heavier, but it is stainless. Definitely Sleipner isn't 100% stainless, and this is more tougher. This one can stand more abusing, and something, of course, you got the belly for it, you got the saw back. Somebody said is not as good as I want, somebody said I like it, same as I do, and it's more packable. It's simply shorter, as you can see, much more packable. The length is about 6 centimeters, so 2.2 inches about longer, plus the sheath. By the way, sorry, the sheath is the leather. Okay, I don't like the sheath too much, and for the carrying, this one to have it on my belt and just work easy with this one is for me better. But I don't say it is definitely winner of the competition for all of these tasks. I will stay with these, but if somebody gives me this one and I will have it already, well, I will think if I should buy this one, because maybe there will be no reason for that, because why? But if I have no knife and I'll try to choose out of these, that will be really hard. Okay, thank you very much, guys. Hope to see you next time. Bye.